Hi guys, today's video is going to be about my coming out as transgender story. And before we get started, I just wanted to tell you guys that everyone's experiences and stories are going to be completely different. Everyone has different backgrounds, different families, different cultures, different religions, so everyone's coming out story is going to be different. And I also wanted to pinpoint that it doesn't matter how old you are. You can come out at 10 years old, at 9 years old, at 20, at 40, at 50. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's just you come out when you're ready. It's your story, it's your life. So don't feel pressured to have to come out at such an early age or when you're not prepared. You come out when you want to come out. It's your life, so don't feel pressured, okay? Just wanted to point that out there. So, okay, let's just get started. I was always feminine. I would always do feminine things. So I feel like for my family, it wasn't such a big shock just because there was always something different about me. And I feel like my family noticed it ever since I was born. So in 6th grade, that's when I came out as a gay boy. That's a pretty young age to come out. I think I was like 10 and I had come out as a gay boy. My family took it reasonably good. And my family is Colombian. So, you know, in Colombia, gay is not that accepted still. But thankfully my family was very accepting, and when I came out as a gay boy, everyone was just so open about it, and it just seemed like no one really cared. It was just like, okay, like, Christian is gay, like, whatever. After I came out, I just felt so much liberated, and I just felt like I could just do whatever I want to do. And when I didn't come out, even though I was in 3rd grade and 2nd grade, I just feel like I was trapped, and I feel like I had a big lie, and I feel like I was hiding something from my parents and my family, and it just felt very weird, and I felt like I wasn't 100% myself. But when I came out as a gay boy in 6th grade, I just felt so liberated, and I felt like I could just live my life happy. Like, I can just live my life how I wanted to live with my family, and that just felt so good. After a couple years, like in 8th grade and 9th grade, I just started not feeling myself. And that's when I came to a conclusion that I was transgender. About 8th grade and 9th grade, that's when I got the like, I'm transgender. But I had kept it a secret from my family because I know that my family had no education. They had no experiences with transgender. So I had kept that secret from 8th grade and 9th grade, that I already knew deep down inside that this is what I wanted. And okay, so in 10th grade, I started telling my parents and my family what transgender was. I started showing them videos. I started just teaching them what transgender meant. At the beginning, they thought that transgender and drag queens were the same thing, and I taught them the differences between transgender and drag queens, and I started just teaching them about the history of transgender. So even before I came out as a transgender female, I started educating them and teaching them. My first reactions from them were like, ew, that's disgusting, no, that's bad, which is like pretty reasonable. But after a couple months of me talking to them about being transgender, not about me, but what transgender meant, and showing them videos, I started showing them Gigi Gorgeous and Nikita Dragon and all these other people that were coming out as transgender and their story. I started sharing it to my family and my parents just so they can really understand it before I came out. I felt like I was ready to come out because I feel like I didn't want to live my life as a lie, and I feel like I had taught them enough so that they could be educated in what it was. So in 10th grade, that was sophomore year, like towards the end, I was like so ready to come out. It was like a family dinner, and I was so ready to come out. And guess what? The electricity to my house just died. Like, we had no electricity in my house. The AC wasn't working. There was no dinner, and I was like, oh my God, like, oh, today was the perfect day to come out. And it was just me, my brother, my mom, and my dad. And it was just us and like the heat of our house because we had no AC because the electricity went out, or the power went out. And I was like, you know what? It's just us four. I'm just gonna do it. So we were all sitting down, dying from the heat, and I was like, okay, like, I have to tell you guys something. And they were like, they literally looked at me like, because they knew, I feel like they knew that I was transgender. They knew what I was going to say just because of all the things that I told them about like people being transgender. I was being very open about, or I'm not open, but I was very like, I just taught them so much about transgender that I feel like they knew that something was up. So when I said I have to tell you something, everyone was like, we know, like, it's not a secret. Like, we know that you want to be a female. So when I told them, it was a little bit easy because I feel like they already understood what transgender meant, and they kind of already knew that I wanted to be a female, and that, you know, I wouldn't be so passionate about transgender people if I weren't transgender. So when I told them, they were like, you know what, like, we definitely want to talk about it, but this isn't the right time because there's no lights, there's no power, and we're trying to fix it. So I was like, okay, like, it just felt good that at least I told them. A couple of days after, that's when my family sat down and were like, okay, like, tell us what's going on with your life. What's, like, why do you want to transition? And that's basically when I told them literally everything, that I've been feeling like a female my whole life, and that I just feel like I'm trapped in this body that I don't feel connected to, and that I wanted to be a female. My first, like, their faces were kind of like, because they're Colombian and they don't, it's not really, gay people aren't even accepted in Colombia, imagine transgender. So my family is very, you know, they think like the old times, but thankfully they seem to just like not care. They're like, okay, like whatever, like we still love you for who you are. And I'm just so happy and grateful that my family's very open and caring, and they love me so much no matter who I am, no matter what I choose to do. They're just super open and super accepting. And I think that doesn't go for everyone, which is a sad thing. I know that there's a lot of people that come out and they get kicked out of their house, they get beat, they get raped. There's so much things negatively that can happen to you when you come out. So I know that it's very stressful, and not everyone experiences what I experience. I experienced such a good story, and I have such a good family, but not everyone has that. So ever since then, after I told them that I was transgender, everything just seemed normal. They were still being respectful to me. They were trying to get my pronouns, which I know that's another thing for them to call me she, her, Christina. I know it's very hard because I've been living as a man for about 16, 17 years, you know, so it's pretty hard, and I understand, and I see that they're trying, and they never seem to like be disappointed or be disgusted by me wanting to be transgender and feeling transgender. So my coming out experience is definitely good, and ever since then we're just getting closer and closer, and being transgender has not negatively affected my relationship with my family. It just has brought us closer, and it taught them so much more, and it taught them a community that they never had an idea that existed, which was the transgender community. And yeah, so my experience was very amazing. I have such supportive family and parents, but like I said, I know that not everyone has a supportive family and parents, and that's something that I would love to just educate parents and educate people about transgender. This is another reason why I'm making these videos, is just so I can educate, and maybe like how I was showing my parents transgender related videos to educate them. Maybe someone could use my videos to educate their parents. Oh my god, I'm like burping, I'm sorry. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you know someone transgender out there, just be nice to them, because you don't know what they're going through in their household. People are going through being beat up daily by their parents because they're transgender, and I feel like we go through so much hate already that we just deserve like people being nice to us and no more negative towards us. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.